As I can see, there are no people on this live just yet, but I'm going to wait and see who we attract. So, because YouTube videos actually record before people show up, so this is content that I'm going to actually have to fill in. I'm just going to go off the dome. If you're joining this live or if you're watching this live after it gets uploaded, if you have any questions in relations to the private side, in relations to locksmithing, in relations to not secure party, I don't want to even talk about secure party, negotiable instruments, hit me up. Leave me a comment. Let's have a conversation. Those that are joining, I'm going to have to repeat this. Those that are joining that would like to collaborate on the stream, hit that button. Hit that button. I'll bring you in. But this is impromptu. Impromptu. Why? Because YouTube demonetized my page because I was not as active as I should. I was not as active as I should because it takes a lot of work to put these videos together. And I did a slew of videos over the last month or so, and it still did not pick up the traffic. So if you continue doing the same thing, you're going to get the same results. So I said, what the hell? I still have access to live under my account. Go live. Talk directly to the people. You want to talk politics? You want to talk private side? You want to talk legal shit? Whatever. Locksmithing? Hit me. Let's go. You want to talk family life? Let's go. Let's go. So you got to do things differently and actually to change the algorithms. So welcome to those that are actually logging in. If I'm not mistaken, I got my glasses on so I can see that far. There's 2 people that's logged in. Whoever you are, peace, blessings to you, and let's have a conversation. I'm just going off the cuff. Got 3 people now. I'm going off the cuff. What are we talking about? What would you like to talk about? I'm going to go with your energy. My energy is I need to do something differently than what I've been doing to actually get more people or get more watch hours. It's all about the watch hours at this point. All about the watch hours. There's hours and hours of conversation in my archives, and people are still chiming into those videos asking me questions, and I do what I can to answer them. But you are now right in front of me. What do you want to know? What would you like to know? What questions would you like to ask? Where would you like me to go? Where would you like me to touch on? Let's go. But Brownsville, live and direct. Hit me. You want to talk about cigars? We can talk about cigars too. And I'm getting comments. Excuse me, I got to read them sideways. UK. Mortgage repossession, November 7th. Respectfully, I cannot go into mortgages. I speak about things that I've actually done myself. I've never delved into mortgages, so it's not that I don't have the information on it. I don't have positive results because I haven't done it to actually elaborate on it. So I can't deal with mortgages. Negotiable instruments, traffic citations and violations, child support. There's a whole plethora of things that I have done, but mortgages is not one of them. So ask me some other questions, chime in, small talk. If you want to join the Zoom or join the stream and converse like that, we can do that as well. Put KSI song. Car loans. Okay. I have a 2019 Mazda. I'm sorry, 2019 Honda Passport sitting outside right now. I went to the dealership. I did the process of actually. I actually bought a Capital One uh, pre-approval letter to the dealership. The vehicle that I actually wanted mysteriously wasn't available anymore, so they showed me something else. What they showed me was an Elite, a Honda Passport 2019 Elite, um, mirror tint, whole nine, all the bells and whistles, has the heated seats, power windows, everything. Everything's in this vehicle. I actually went through the process of actually filling out the paperwork to do a finance. I paid the finance for maybe 8 months, 9 months, and then I sent them a negotiable instrument. And I sent them 3 correspondence after that. I did an administrative process. I sent them 3 correspondence after that to verify that they received the payment and that they need to credit the payment. The response that I got from Capital One was, we don't accept that. Okay, if you don't accept that, send my documentation back. We destroyed it. Oh, you did? Okay. From that point, I never contacted them again. I then did a dispute on my credit report to get it off, that it was paid. They can't deny it. So it's not on my credit report. So I have a 2019 Honda Passport sitting outside. Do I fear repo? I definitely fear repo, but the vehicle was purchased, and I'm giving out the information right here. They may even look at this and get it. The vehicle was purchased in New Jersey. I subsequently moved to Pennsylvania. The address that I moved to in Pennsylvania is roughly 50, 70 miles from where I'm actually at right now. So if a repo is in effect, they're probably going to that location. Can they go into the algorithms or the technology and find it where it's exactly at? Probably so, but I don't think they want that smoke. So I haven't paid a car note since 2022. So I have 2019 Honda Passport Elite sitting outside right now from that process. If you want more information, may not be able to put it on the on like a YouTube. We can do a private conversation. I can send you the documentation that I actually did, what I did, how I did, what happened with that, and you can test the waters of yourself. So I do have a vehicle out there that I did do a process on. The problem is, on the private side, excuse me, these agencies is not going to co-sign. They're not going to acknowledge success. Why? Because then you can use that and you can show everybody else, and now everybody's going to get the same kind of success. It's called I'll get in a second. Precedence. They don't want to set a precedence. So on the private side, this is the problem with a lot of gurus. A lot of gurus cannot show you the results of, and if they had any results, they can't show you that they've been successful because they lack the paperwork from the companies, the corporations stating or showing that win, that victory. I am still able to register this vehicle in Jersey and have no issues. I registered and insured. I haven't gone back to do the inspection. I don't plan to. I plan on retiring in 7 years. And if they take this car within now and 7 years, so be it. If they don't, I have a vehicle that I'm making the insurance payments on. I'm making I'm applying for the registration and getting it. I'm using the vehicle that I'm not making payments on. I paid for 8 months. Usually after 3 months, you do the discharge and it takes care of it. I waited a little longer, but I do have a vehicle. What other questions? I'm sorry. If I turn this thing sideways, it's gonna mess with the camera. I gotta turn my head. I'm challenging contract, being unfair, HSBC, manipulated, rate, indirect, affecting. Sorry, I can't get that. What's your favorite car? Mine is BMW stock. I don't have a favorite car. I'm from I'm from the area of, or the mindset of, as long as it gets me from point A to point B, I'm 7 minutes away from my current job. I am a locksmith for a state correctional facility, and I just need transportation to get me there, get me back. I don't want a hoopty. I've had hoopties in the past. I need a reliable vehicle up here in the mountains of Somerset, Pennsylvania. So it has to be reliable. Um, if I had a choice, I would like a F-250, a big goddamn truck. um, maybe a what's that other brand? Another American brand. It'll come to me in a second. Not a Hummer, but I'm a truck guy. I'm a truck guy. Not too fond of cars. Don't care about cars. I like trucks and SUVs. What's your favorite vehicle? I would appreciate it if you would talk about silence acquiescence. Absolutely. If you don't respond, that means you agree. So if I call you a bitch, and I said this in the video, if I call you a bitch and you sit there, and that means you're a bitch. So whether a creditor is coming after you, whether it's a health, like health benefits or health, if you have a debt to the health, to like to your doctor's office, or you have to answer. And your answer must always be to verify and validate that debt. Verify and validate that debt. Now, let's be real. Oftentimes, you owe that debt. You actually went in, made the appointment. If you have insurance, you made that appointment, and your copay may be more than what you want to pay. It may be $35, but now you did a procedure, and the insurance doesn't cover $125 from that procedure. So now they're billing you. Before the process, you sat down and you signed your name that you agree for them to bill you for that service. So had you have signed a particular way, you would have been absolved. But if you signed your name, you're responsible. Now, medical bills cannot be reported on your credit report. It's against the law. It's a violation of HIPAA. So if they coming after you, this company's coming after you, and they attacking your credit, or they're putting information on your credit report, you can attack it and use HIPAA as a defense, whereas they cannot be putting your personal information, your health information online, and that can get taken care of and get it off your report. But acquiescence or silence is a problem. You have to respond. You have people that say, well, I'm on the private side. What makes them the authority? Well, I have to respond to them. If you contractually engage with these people, you have an obligation to respond to these people. If you did not enter into any contract with them, let's say you had a contract with this medical institution and they subsequently sent that to another credit agency that's now coming after you. Do not pay debt collector. Another debt collector is coming after you. You have no obligation to talk to this guy. When this guy comes after you, say, listen, it's none of your business. Whether you purchased the debt or not, that's on you. I'm dealing with the original creditor, and the original creditor was paid, whether he was paid or not, or you're dealing with the original creditor. I have nothing to do with you. I don't have an original contract with you. I don't have to deal with you. But you must respond, because if you do not respond to that creditor that paid for that debt or took on that debt, because the original creditor filed insurance and they made a claim and they're getting compensated for that debt. The creditor, the debt collector, is now trying to capitalize on that debt. You don't have to deal with them. You do have to respond to them. What you respond to them with is, I have no contract with you, have no obligation to deal with you. I'm dealing with the original creditor. Leave me alone. If you'd like me to make a video, go into more details on that, let me know. I can. But Let me know how can we can talk privately. Now, 717-743-1047 is my Google phone line. That's my public number. Text me. Let me know what your question is, what your concern is. I'll reach out to you and we'll have a conversation. 717-743-1047. You can also email me at webmaster, WebMaster at budbrownsville.com. Email me, excuse me, what you want to talk about, your concerns, your issues, and I can either respond to you back with direct information to help you solve that issue, or if it's required that you speak to me, which my time is very, very limited. I'm going to be totally honest. I'm going to be 100. Keep it 100. Unless you're losing blood rapidly, you may not be able to speak to me. I'm working on books and I'm working on family things and I'm working on different projects, whereas my time is really, really thin right now. So I may not be able to have a personal conversation with you. However, we can interact through text messages or emails. Absolutely. Even you leave comments in the YouTube page. I definitely respond to them when I get a moment. GMC Denali. Denali's a good truck. GMC Denali is a very good truck. Your favorite car? I would appreciate it if we talk about. I did that. I'm going to, but let me know how we talk. I'm going to touch you in the morning and see if I can get a ride home. Edgar, I'm going to touch you in the morning to see if I can get a ride home. I don't know who you are, Edgar, but if you in Pennsylvania, you need a ride home. I'm going to work in the morning. I get off roughly 4 p.m. So I don't know how I can pick you up and drop you off, but never say never. Never let your cigar go out. Do your best to keep your cigar going. What else you guys want to talk about? What would you like me to expound upon? You got me. I'm here for you. What would you like to know? What would you like to hear about? What would you like to see? You want any updates? You want any? What do you want to know? What do you want to know? Keep chatting with me. And excuse me for using my going sideways on you. I'm on my phone and it's not up and down, so it's hard to read the stuff. So I don't have any more comments that I can see at this moment. Car loans, missed that. Um, Car loans. If you are on the private side, if you've done a secure party process, the chances of you actually, well, I'm going to just go with car loans. If you want to get a loan for a car, your credit has to be at a certain mark. You have to be above 580. I would prefer um, the people that I speak to, I would say 640. Don't go any less than 640 to get a car loan. Do you actually want to get a car loan as opposed to getting a lease? My opinion, you should get a lease. If you get a car loan, chances are, if your credit ain't so great, if you don't have above a 720, close to 800, you're going to be paying almost double for that vehicle. So, do you want to go that route? It may be better for you to lease that vehicle, and after 3 years, turn it in, get another one, and they give you a lot of breaks on the turn in and to pick up another lease. Car loan. There's a lot of predator lenders out there that you can actually deal with to get car loans. I am leaning on with the abundance of caution to tell you don't do that. Don't do that. Because once you sign on that dotted line, you can even sign protecting your signature, protecting your you can sign without giving up your rights, so to speak. But karma, you need to stay in honor. Do not uh, kill anyone, do not injure anyone, and do not defraud. Fraud is when you know you can't afford that car. You know you have no intentions on paying that debt off, that alleged debt, and you still get into that process. This is not double talk. When I got into that process for my vehicle, I had every intentions on discharging that debt. The car dealership that I happened to deal with wasn't on the up and ups with me. Two wrongs don't make a right, but I wholeheartedly had no intentions on completing that complete obligation. My intentions was to discharge that car. I was going to wait a year. Usually wait 3 months. I was going to wait a year before I discharged that car. I waited 8 months or so, and then I did the discharging of, or I did a, I don't want to say payment. I did a negotiable instrument. I presented a negotiable instrument, a private negotiable instrument, and they accepted it because they didn't return it. Car loans, you want to stay away from car loans. I would greatly urge everyone within the sound of my voice to look into actually a lease. Why? Because you can get a brand new car, all the bells and whistles, and you're still going to have to put full coverage on the vehicle. Your payments may be high depending on your credit, but the pros outweigh the cons. You're not going to be paying double for that car as if you financed it. All right. And also, if you do the purchase through a business, if you do the purchase as a sole proprietor, but you're using it for business, write offs, write offs. A little harder when you're doing a finance. About the same, but a little harder when you're doing a finance. So stay away from car loans. Stay away from car loans. That's where these industries make a lot of money because they sell these things. They sell these loans with the intention, like if you're under a certain credit score, they anticipate that you're going to default on it. So the insurance that they take out that you're paying for covers them. If you default on it, they're getting money. They're getting their money back from that insurance claim. Now you're still on the hook for paying off that loan, but now you have a secondary creditor or a debt collector coming after you, and they may even repo the vehicle. So you paying this money, you're still obligated to pay this money. They repo the vehicle. You do not have the vehicle, and you still got to pay this money. It's not a win-win situation at all. Now, if you can garage that vehicle, move to a different state, hide that vehicle, for a certain amount of time. Give me a second. I got to build my cigar back up. What else are we talking about? Anybody looking to relocate? Anybody looking to change careers? I am in Pennsylvania, and I happen to work for the Department of Corrections. There is a lot of hiring going on, and if you Google it, Department of Corrections is the highest paid state agency in Pennsylvania. You can make a lot of money working in the Department of Corrections. If you are looking at this video and you're on the private side and you don't want to get involved with the state and you want to do your own thing, great, great, great. We can talk about locksmithing. I know that very well. We can talk about, security cameras and access control. Know a lot about that. I'm getting into what's the word for it? It's the modern day coding engineer. I can't bring the word up. It's when you create prompt engineer. If you Google the average salary for a prompt engineer, Google the average salary for a prompt engineer. A prompt engineer at this day and age is starting in the 80,000s to 100,000s for a prompt engineer. What you're doing, you are putting in different keywords and phrases to make AI produce a result. There are companies paying for people to do this. Back in the days, it was coding and it was network security. But POE.com, YOU.com is two different chat search engines. Powerful, powerful. Suno, SUNO.com, when you want to make music. Powerful, powerful free services. If you learn, and you can YouTube, go to YouTube. You're on YouTube now. Go to YouTube and learn about prompt engineering and the steps that you need to take. There's a lot of money in this stuff. A lot of money. And I see my stuff is coming on. Let me, excuse me a second. Excuse me a second. Turn that off. Turn that off. I noticed it's getting black and white. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? Got to go to the side over here. Denali truck. Can rent be paid by negotiable instrument? No. No, 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 no. Rent cannot be paid by negotiable instrument. Why can't rent be paid by negotiable instrument? It's a private contract with a private owner. However, they do not know how to process that negotiable instrument. They do not know how to take that to their bank and claim the credits for it. If you have a secured party, if you have someone on the private side that is renting property, then that's a different story. But these laymen, these individuals don't know about that private side. So that's not an option right now. There is no money. I make that statement, but I can't back it up in this conversation right now because it's take too long for me to actually explain to you why I'm saying there is no money, other than the gold standard was removed from money years ago. And when they did that, they gave the individual, the private banker, the privilege of creating money. But you got to know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you can land yourself in jail for check fraud and things of that nature, for fraud. You got to be careful what you do. No, you cannot pay your landlord with a negotiable instrument. However, now, if you went the route of doing secured party and put your birth certificate on deposit with the Treasury, your light bill, your gas bill, your phone bill, your car note, your insurance, all these things can be paid with negotiable instruments. Abso-fucking-lutely. 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 But your rent can't. Sorry about that. And Islam, is there any way you can touch on filing tax exemptions for work purposes? I work for the Department of Corrections in this great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and I gave them a what's the word for it? In lieu of a W-4. Basically, is a piece of paper with the IRC, the Internal Revenue Code statement of, I did not owe any taxes last year. I will not owe any taxes next year. Meaning, I'm not obligated. None of us are obligated to pay taxes. It's voluntary. So when you give that statement in, that says, okay, I'm not obligated to pay taxes last year. I'm not obligated to pay taxes this year, so I'm tax exempt. Do not withhold on my not salary, on my funds. The Department of, what is the department? Payroll department pushed back kind of, but I had to send them additional documents. I had to send them another document letting them know I'm on the private side and I do not have to, because they were trying to make me fill out a W-4. I'm not giving you a W-4. I actually was going to attempt to send them a W-4, a W-8 Ben. I did that in New York for another company that I work for, a private company. They took it with no issue. No issue. And as a matter of fact, no, they did have an issue. They actually called the IRS, and the IRS said, yes, this is legit. Don't send it to us. You hold on to it and do not withhold from his check. They were like, we've never seen this before. We didn't know what to do. I'm like, You heard it from their mouth. You didn't hear it from my mouth. Thank God. I'm glad you called them. For the Department of Corrections, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the payroll department is not familiar with the documents that I sent them. But what I told them was that I owe no taxes. I have no obligation to pay taxes. I'm on the private side. You are not to take any federal taxes out of my check. Because you are a state employee, you are required to pay state taxes. Now, I've been there 3.5, almost 4 years. I've never filled out a tax return. So that is going to turn into unclaimed funds, which I'll claim later with interest. Webmaster, WEBMASTER at budbrownsville.com. Email me or text me at 717-743-1047, and I'll send you the form that I sent to them to claim tax exemption. On your W-4 form, it tells you, read the back. Now, if your job gives you a W-4 form and it's writing on the first page, but if you turn it over, it's blank, it's the okie doke. It's supposed to be 2 pages, the instructions on the back and the breakdown on the front. You go to the back and it tells you how to claim exemptions. They don't show you that. They just copy the first page because they're not concerned with that. But Google W-4 form, and it's 2 pages. And even on that page, it'll say page 2. If you look at the pages they give you to fill out, a lot of places send you online to fill the stuff out. It's not going to show up online. But if they give you a paper to fill out, you got to fill out this W-4. It's going to say page 2. Where's page 1? Page 1 is a breakdown of how you're supposed to fill that page out or fill that document out. And what you basically is going to do is you're going to put exempt on, don't quote me on a line, you're going to put exempt on one of those lines. Don't fill out the worksheet, none of that. Just put exempt, sign your name a certain way, sign your name, send it back, or hand it in, and you will be exempt from federal taxes. If you do not work for the state and you work for a private company, there's different things on how to handle that. So this is not a one-size-fits-all type of conversation. If you work for a private company, if you work for Taco Bell or McDonald's, if you work for, let's say, a hospital, that's not a state-run hospital, there's different things that you have to do. That will be a W-4, W-8 bed. So there's different ways you have to tackle that. But for a majority of them that are forcing you to give them a W-4 that won't take any other documentation, give them that W-4, but fill out exempt on that line. It tells you where to put that exempt. Put exempt in capital letters, exempt. Sign your name, date it, give it back to them. Request for the time needed to get it done. Requested for the time needed to get it done. I don't know what you're asking there, Brother Randall. I'm driving home. Hopefully this will be a replay. It will definitely be a replay. Definitely be a replay. As soon as this video is done, I don't know how long I'm going to run it, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm actually going to finish my Long Island iced tea. I'm going to finish my cigar. I hope it didn't go out. So y'all got me. Y'all got me for a minute, and I'm going to do these sporadically. If there's a particular time, put it here, a particular time that you want me to go live, put it in the comment section right now. Tell me what time you would prefer me to go live, date and time, and I'm going to try to stick to it. Because if that's the time that everybody is actually linking on, then I'll do it. I'm in this garage every day after 4 o'clock with my grandbaby or with my Long Island iced tea or my cigar, and I'm studying. I'm working on my books. Speaking of which, it's in the other one over here. Get the scales out of the way. No cap, no bullshit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 loose leaf notebooks of information that I'm putting into a book, and it has to do with Panther Cubs. It is, if anyone's familiar with the Boy Scouts have a Boy Scout handbook, and I was a former Boy Scout, and in that handbook is a lot of information, whereas first aid, civics, different things. I am doing the same thing, but I wanted to cater it towards melaninated boys and girls. All right, because the Boy Scouts of America is geared towards Europeans and others. I wanted to make a pamphlet or a booklet or a manual that speaks to us of all the topics that you need to learn. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna show you. I'm gonna give you some information right here. I think it's in two. I'm gonna break some stuff down for you. Book two, right here, right here, right here. So part of the outline, some of the stuff that is in the book, and these are the chapters or the chapters: biology, chemistry, hygiene, fire safety, weights and measures, basic first aid, physical fitness, swimming skills, self-defense, critical thinking, conflict resolution, knowledge of self, firearms training, public and private. And this is stages. Another stage: CPR, constitution, driving education or driver's education, legal first aid, ham radio, business formation, contract law, communication, common unity, economics and banking, geography, public and private. What I'm doing is there are things that we are supposed to learn that they did not teach us in school, that our parents didn't teach us at home. It's going to be in this manual, a breakdown, a manual that you can use for yourself or you can use for your children of the things that we should be learning today, even voting, civics, all these different intricacies and nuances that we have not been taught that we need to know is going in this manual, and I'm going into detail. The hindrance is I want it to be illustrated. A lot of people can't read books without different artwork in it. And I'm just not going to pay for different artwork. I wanted someone to actually draw and illustrate the artwork that is going to be in the book. So it would have been out 2 years ago, but I'm still trying to pinpoint and lock down an artist to illustrate a lot of the stuff that I want to put in this book. I've done some AI stuff, great stuff, but even with the AI, it may have an eye that looks up and an eye looks down. It's not accurate. I want it to be accurate. I'm not going to put out a half-ass product. So that's the hindrance of putting in one of the books. I got 4 books I'm working on. But that's what I've been doing out here in PA, lounging. My good cigar went out. Damn. That's what I've been doing. I've been trying to put some information together to give to you, you fine people. I've made videos. I've made hundreds. I've only put out maybe 90 videos. But there are still people coming to me asking me questions, but I've made a video on it. So that means they're not going to the videos to get the information. Same with the book. I'll put out a book. You may not even read it. But if you ask me about a particular topic, I'd rather make a video about it and post it, because not only am I answering your question, I'm answering maybe 5 or 10 other people. So instead of me making 15 phone calls and this person paying me $75 to $100 an hour, and this person paying me $75 to $100 an hour, I made a free video about it. Go look on that. If you want to send me a donation, great. But I don't want to talk to. I'd rather not talk to 100 people about the same thing. That's what I've been working on, and I need to get my cigar back because this is mellowing. It's chill. I mean, if you're not a cigar smoker, you don't get it. If you are, let me know what kind of cigar you smoke or what brand you smoke, or partake it, because you don't really smoke a cigar. But Tayback Especial Negro, 6x60. Incredible smoke. I appreciate the 5 people that are here. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And the 5 people are here for a reason. You're here for a reason. What do you want to know? What are you inquisitive about? What brought you here? What is keeping you here? because you didn't sign off. What do you want to know? Talk to me. I'm here for you. You got me. Talk to me. Ask me a question. Make a comment. If you give me accolades, or if you give me, some words of encouragement, I accept that as well. I'm here for you guys. I'm here for it. Requested. I'm driving home. What about city? I'm sorry, I'm not sure about what you mean by what about city. Peace and blessings, Mr. Christopher Randall. Long time subscriber and follower. Appreciate you, brother. I see the thumbs up back at you, brother or sister. I can't tell. The glare of the freaking ring light and the fogginess of my damn glasses. I ain't clean them. I can't see exactly. I can read the words. Filing, tax exemption went there. Can't be paid for your rent. Go back. I am going to touch out with you. PFC Denali, brother from England. The founder of Pennsylvania, William Penn from England, Old House, sale in England, UK. I need to do some more research on William Penn. I heard a few things, positive and negative about William Penn. Not that I really give a flying cahoots. Let me go here. I am also delving in magic, MAGICK. Magic being a spiritual system. It has a lot to do with the sun and the moon. And the point that I make to a lot of people that I come across is respectfully, I say this respectfully, I don't know, I can't prove if Jesus Christ ever existed. I don't know. I can't prove if Muhammad ever existed, Buddha, all these different entities. But I can relate to, because I've had personal interaction with my grandmother, my aunts, my cousins. Their energy is still alive and well. Matter cannot be created nor destroyed. It only changes forms. So once that ether, once that spirit leaves that body, it's now floating amongst us. If you're in trouble and you say, "Oh, Jesus, take the wheel," but Jesus didn't exist. But if you say, such and so that did exist, take the wheel, something may happen. You may agree, you may disagree. I'm not looking for any followers, but that's where I'm going. So I'm utilizing the energy of those who I've had personal interactions with. I'm using their energy to go forward, and it's been working. It's been working. This system has been taken from us, and they've given us something else. Why? Because you believe when you go to church, that music is going and the singing is live, and it does something to you. But you leave there empty. But if you call upon those entities, individuals of which you have personal relationship with, it could be a girlfriend that passed, it could be a mother-in-law, it could be a friend, a best friend. If you look at their traits and their characteristics that were positive, that were strong and vibrant, utilize that energy for the things that you need, the things that you want. I'll leave it there. If you want some more information on magic, hit me up. I am going hard in that. Knowledge of self, Kabbalah, esoteric, occultism. There is yin and there's yang. There are people that will say, "Oh, that's bad, that's demonic, that's evil." You don't know what's demonic, evil, and all of that if you don't know what's good. Okay, hot and cold. How would you know what's cold if you didn't know what hot was? How would you know if hot was if you didn't know what cold was? There's positive and there's negatives. So when you practice certain things, or if you're engaged in certain things, you got to understand the duality of it. Otherwise, how would you? It's balanced. Everything's balanced. When you plug in the battery to charge up your phone, it has a positive and a negative. It needs one or the other, or it needs both to actually produce. I'll leave it there. You got any questions? I'll expound. You have any questions? I'm not just gonna go on a tirade. And I hope my cigar don't go out. Again, if you're not a subscriber, please click subscribe. Watch some of my old videos. Leave me some comments. I'm going to be sporadically doing live videos, live YouTube videos. If there's a time that you prefer me to do a live so you can engage and interact or send some people my way, let me know what it is. Leave a comment right now. Leave a comment right now. Stop what you're doing. Leave a comment right now and let me know what time, what day you prefer. Weekends is better. Weekdays, let me know. If it's between the hours of 7 and 4, can't help you. 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. can't help you. I got some other arrangements I'm working on. But Monday through Friday, anytime after 4 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, all day, I'm available to answer your questions free of charge. Free. You don't have to get a consultation. There's people still reaching out to me today to get a consultation. My consultation at one time before I stopped doing them was $150 an hour. I don't want to charge that, but you got to weed out who's serious, who's not serious. And there were people still paying $150. I had females paying me just to talk to me. I've answered their situation, but they'll still call me about the situation. Wait, I recorded the conversation. I've given you a copy of the conversation. You can go back and hear the advice that I gave you, but it's not enough. No, I want to hear you talk. I got too much going on. I can't sit and talk to you respectfully, and I got a wife. I can't do that. So I'd rather make a video. So it pushed me back a little further. It's like, okay, what are people talking about? Firearms, permits. New York is New York. If you got New Yorkers on this line or any Democratic state that's looking to get their permits, hit me up. If you're a felon and you want to get your gun rights restored, hit me up. But there are a lot of people asking me these different things, and instead of me talking to you individually, I'd rather make a video that'll help hundreds instead of just one person at a time. That's where I'm at. So life is short, time is precious, and it's not so much that you'll be wasting my time, but you'll be wasting my time if I don't help more people than just you. I can cater it. If you ask me to make a video on a topic that you particularly want, and you ask me a certain amount of questions, or you ask me to be specific on this topic, I'll make a video directly answering the topic and the subject matter that you want. So you're going to get exactly what you want free of charge, and it will still be helping other people. That's what I'd rather do. Or get on here and do live. I'm in here not doing nothing. There's no sports on right now. If sports on, y'all would have me. But watching some sports, filling up my board, adding information to my books, or smoking my cigar, playing with my grandbabies. That's all I do. All I do is study. Study says, you see the books behind me, and this is just 1% of the books that I got. If you guys don't know about thrifting, Pennsylvania is very good with it. I don't know about the other states. I don't know about New York. I've gone to several thrift stores just in my area. $1.99. I've got the Art of War from Sun Tzu. I got a classic version. I think I put it in the back. The booklet, the artwork that is on the book itself for $1.99. What happens is when these books go to Goodwill, the people handling them don't know what they're handling. They just mark it up for $1.99, $2. If you go to a bookstore, if you go to Barnes and Nobles or Amazon, the book is probably $30. Got it for $2. So I've got a plethora of dictionaries and medical books. I'm going to knock some shit down, pulling this out. Some shit's going to fall. Some shit's going to fall. The human body, a lot of this shit, it's got even CDs. Not in this one. I know it's in this one. It's got a CD in this mother sucker. right there. I mean, $1.99, Goodwill. So I'm putting y'all on some knowledge. Human body, good stuff. This is one of the best books I got. I was studying it, walked into a damn Goodwill store. Eat right for your blood type. Oh my God. I have a entity, Nature Provides the Answer, where I combine herbs. I make different things from smokable herbs to different things. I do not have the time to flourish that business. I'm retiring in 7 years. Perhaps in 7 years I'll get on it, or I'll get my partner to help me with it. But I have so much information as far as natural remedies and herbs, different things, and first aid that I want to put out. The problem is editing these videos. I put the video together. If I could put it out raw, put it out raw. But a lot of times it needs to be edited to make it suitable for your consumption. So that is my hindrance. So live video, I'm not going to edit this one. It's going to go out as it is. As it is. But let me see if any more questions came up. Try emailing you. Peace, peace, peace. I don't see who that is. After the video, I'll look it up and I'll listen. I get a lot of video. I mean, a lot of text messages, a lot of emails. I do a lot. I can't go through them all. I do not have the time to go through them all. I don't. But text messages, 717-743-1047. I do scroll every day through my text messages. So if you try to email me and I didn't respond, if I didn't respond through a YouTube video, text message me. You get me directly. So I apologize on that. And this, I just can't answer everybody. I can't. I do my best, but I can't. Private side info. I sent off the birth certificate. Sent to, can't read that. We use your accepted for value with taught letter rebuttal to the cure. The full letter all went well. Talk about. I love when something works. Active wage garnishment. Do you have any experience in stopping them? Let me know if you need help. Wage garnishment. With wage garnishment, if they give you prior notice that they are going to garnish your wages, you need to respond. That's what the acquiescence. Someone asked a question earlier. Your silence is acquiescence. If you do not respond and try to get ahead of that, they're going to go through what they're going to go through. Here's the point. In the county that I live in, they send tax letters out for state employees for school board taxes. The school board tax is $7. My printer was down. Let me tell you why my printer was down. I have HP. HP is a mother sucker. Whereas if you don't get into their system and pay their monthly fees, you can't use your printer that you paid for. I went to freaking Staples and bought a printer, but in order to print in my shit, I got to send them a monthly fee. So my printer was down for a little bit. So I couldn't make the negotiable instruments to pay that $7 to the county. You can use negotiable instruments to pay the county and state. So I didn't have the money to send to them. So I was like, you know what? Guess what? If they were threatening to garnish $7. Most of the time they're going to garnish you double. They're going to garnish you $14 and then reimburse you for that extra $7 that they took. So I didn't care. They took, and mind you, I don't pay, or I pay state taxes, of which they're going to owe me with interest. I got money in the wings. $7. I actually could have went to get a money order and paid it off, but my thinking was anything that you have to pay needs to be offset or discharged. I have check stock. I have the information. I have the templates. I'm not going to send you my Federal Reserve notes. I'm going to send you one of my negotiable instruments. but I couldn't get to my printer because of HP, so they garnished me. So as far as garnishment goes, you have to respond. But if you're in the wrong, if you owe that money, what are you fighting? No. If you owe that money, you need to learn how to send them a negotiable instrument. You do not have to be a secured party to send a negotiable instrument. You do not have to be a secured party to send a negotiable instrument. Some people that are on this feed, hopefully not, have no clue what I'm talking about with negotiable instruments. You can write your own checks, your own money orders, your own bill of exchange, and send it in. If you have a tax liability, here's a big one. If you have a tax liability, let me say this slow. If you have a tax liability, an IRS tax liability, call up the IRS from whatever line if they send you documentation, or call the IRS directly, irs.com. Say, yeah, I understand that I may have a deficiency or I may have some money that I owe. I need a statement of what I actually owe. The person, the first person you talk to may not be the person that you need. They will directly to where you need to go. You speak to that person. You say, okay, can you send me a statement of what I owe so I can take care of the situation? They're going to mail you a coupon. It's going to be a statement, and it's going to be a little piece at the bottom to detach and send back with your payment. You're going to make a copy of that entire page. You make a copy of that entire page. You're going to keep the copy. The original, you can send them. On that original page, that coupon, I made a video, or reach out to me and I'll tell you exactly what to put on that bottom page. You stick it in the envelope, you send it certified mail, you send it back to them. And if you owe $50, $500, $5,000, $15,000, it goes away. It goes away. You wait 3 to 4 months, you call them up and you say, yeah, I wanted to get a statement, update on my account. I had a discrepancy, and it's not a discrepancy, another word for it, a deficiency, or I owed some money. You're going to hear from their mouth, oh no, it's been resolved, everything's good. Okay, can I get a statement to that respect? Can you send me something that everything is taken care of? You never, ever, 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 ever have to send Federal Reserve notes to the Internal Revenue Service. Bud Brownsville, October 31st, 2024, telling you right now on a live YouTube stream, you never, ever, 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 ever have to send Federal Reserve notes to fulfill an obligation that you have with the IRS. You call them up and you ask them for a statement. That statement, that piece of paper that they're going to send you, you write some words on that page. You put it in an envelope and you send it back. And whatever you allegedly owed will go away. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Come back on this live and make comments on this. Do what I tell you to do. Reach out to me. Do what I tell you to do, and be free to come back on this one. It's going to be on YouTube. I'm not taking this bitch down, and I'm not going to, get rid of the comments. Come back on here and say it didn't work. I dare you. If anybody that's on here, it's what, 6 people still here? 5 people still here? If anybody here that has done that process that I've helped, chime in. Chime in. I've had a lot of people that have success with that. Child support, another one. Gee whiz, as soon as you started talking about the issue at hand, my bad. Catch the replay. Let me know if you need help. I need help with editing, but the problem is giving up my intellectual property. Like I can't send, there's Fiverr, there's freelance, there's different services that you can send the live footage to and let them edit it and send it back. I'm not sending my intellectual property to somebody else to cut it up and do what they. No, I can't do that. I need to be in control, not ownership. I need to be in control of my stuff, and that's my hindrance right there. We use your accepted for value. Read that already. Punishment, spoke a little bit about that. Set off. Set off. I spoke about set off as well. Set off and discharge is pretty much not one and the same, but similar. You can any debt that you've acquired that is 3 months old can be set off or discharged. Any debt that you've acquired that you have can be set off or discharged after 3 months. It's in those threes. It's about those threes. It's how you do it. The process is how you do it. You can. My experience, what works is negotiable instruments, whether it be a bill of exchange or a money order. You send a bill of exchange or you send a money order. You own. Make it your own. Make it your own. Make it your own. If you get one of my templates, or if you get somebody else's templates, and it says date, time, social security, blah. My opinion, change, make it your own. Change, don't do it exactly how the last person did it. Or omit some stuff. You have to have the discernment of knowing what needs to be on that document and what doesn't need to be on that document, or even add more. 5 of the instruments that I sent out had my image or my Legis image on it. So this is to let you know that I'm not committing fraud. Who would send a check with their own image on that check? That's not fraud. That's me taking care of the Legis, because this is not me. What's inside this is me. I am the representative, or this is a representative of me. Just like that all caps name is not me. Me as an enemy, not the outer me. So you know who you are, know who you're addressing, know how to address them. And that document that you're sending out, that for set off discharge, whether it be a check, you can call it a check. Call it a check. You can call it a negotiable instrument. You can call it, it's not a negotiable instrument. You can call it a bill of exchange, or you call it a money order. There's other terminologies that you can use. I can send you to the IRC, the Internal Revenue Manual of what they accept. What they accept is what you need to call it. This piece of paper is a loose leaf page. However, if you title it as a money order, now this becomes a money order. If you title it certificate, this now becomes a certificate. If you call it a bond, this now becomes a bond. Following me? Okay, so it's either a bill of exchange, a check, or a money order. All doing the same thing. And it's not coming out of a physical account. I don't know if I can go into details on this right here. I'd rather not. It's long and encompassing. But when you write your bill of exchange, when you write your money order, or you write your check, you put in certain information on that document. You put in the account number. You put in what is due. You put in a negative sign on the amount that's due. You put in a negative sign on the amount that's due. If the IRS says that you owe $15,000 on your negotiable instrument, you're going to be sending them negative $15,000. Somebody's head just blew up. If you don't understand what I just said, we can have a conversation on it. So your negotiable instrument is going to reflect your payment, your set off, your discharge. You have to do the balance. If they're asking you for a positive $15,000, you're going to send them a negative $15,000. Does that make sense? Some people, if you learn the number line in school, I'm gonna do this live. Where's my pen? Where's my pen? I think it's over here. And I'm gonna use a pink piece of paper. I did this in front of people and they got it. And it's like, oh my God, yes, we learned that in school. Okay, in school, you got a 0 here and you got negative 1, negative, I'm writing upside down. Let me just write it this way. Negative 2, 3, 4. And over here you got positive 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. So zero out your account. Some people know what I'm talking about. But now, if you get a bill that says you owe, this is going to be positive, and the other side is negative. That makes sense. So if they tell you you get a bill for 2, how do you get back to 0? If you got a bill for 2, how do you get back to 0? You got to give them a negative 2, right? To get back to 0, because you want to zero out your account. You don't give them another 2 because you're going to go this way. You've learned positive and negative in the first, second, third, fifth grade, I guess it was. We learned this in school, negative and positive. So if you look on your bill and it has nothing there, that means positive. If there's nothing there on your bill, if you got a light bill for $135, and it doesn't say negative $135, what are you giving them? If you're giving Federal Reserve notes, you're giving them positive 135. They're going to say, thank you, idiot. But if you gave them a negotiable instrument, and on that negotiable instrument, you put negative 135, you set off the debt. I'm going to get very, very mad and violent when my cigar goes out. I'm going to start cussing. I'm not going to be cooperative. I'm not going to read nothing on that screen. So I'm going to need to pause more often so I can keep my cigar lit. Keep my cigar lit, I'll keep putting out this information. Did that make sense? Did that make sense? It does. Facts. Yes. Discharge status. Salute. Bill of exchange, no doubt. Can you turn your camera? Where do you want me to turn it to? -2 is the effect of the payout. Need your teaching on negotiable instruments, please. It's not my teaching. I have acquired this information from Yusuf L. He is the god, Yusuf L. and Jamu Bey. I've watched several hours of Yusuf L's negotiable instruments webinar. He had a guest on, Jamu Bey. Jamu Bey took it to the next level. I've studied all of Jamu Bey's webinars. I still have them, and I give them out. But Jamu Bey and Yusuf L's webinars on negotiable instruments is where I got all of my information on. I've delved into the other European guys doing their stuff, but it pales into comparison with Jamu Bey and Yusuf L did. And what you got to do is make it your own. You also got to learn the UCC. You have to understand. You have to read it. Take a weekend. Take an entire weekend and just read the UCC. Take a dictionary, a law dictionary, and go over what is being said in the UCC. UCC 3, UCC 1, 3, and 5. Is 5 or 7? Don't quote me right here. But read the UCC. Everything is in there. Even the internal revenue. The internal revenue is a very in-depth, complicated manual, and it's hard to decipher and hard to navigate. But there are only certain portions that you need to go into. I can't quote them right here. I did it in the video. I've done videos. Go back to my videos on, did I do negotiable instruments? I did taxes. Maybe I'll make another video outlining where you should go for the information. But this stuff is real. And it's funny when Yusuf L goes in on individuals that ask for proof, or if you're in a secured party Facebook group and newbies or naysayers going in, they're asking for proof. And, how do we know this stuff works? You're not going to get proof unless you do it yourself. I've got proof from people that I've helped that told me about it, but I don't know what they've done. So I can't say if they actually sent money in and said, oh, it works, or if they actually did the process and it worked for them. I've done several processes that worked for me. But how am I going to, even if I show you, look, here's the proof. That doesn't mean it's proof. You don't even get the proof if you do it for yourself and you get results from it. Now, if you do it for yourself and you don't get good results from it, that doesn't mean mine didn't work. That means something was missing from yours or your energy was off. What can I say? But this shit works. This shit is real. This shit is real. This shit is real for those that need it to be real. This shit is real for those that put in the work to make it real. It's real. It's real. And I hope my mic ain't dying. I hope y'all still can hear me. It's green. See if you got more questions. I am in Somerset, Pennsylvania. Somerset, Pennsylvania. Why am I in Somerset, Pennsylvania? Because I was working at what is the damn college? I was working in the college in New Jersey, New Jersey City University, locksmith, and I was making pretty good money, but it wasn't challenging. Well, it wasn't challenging enough. Another locksmith that I was dealing with, or one of my partners, happens to work for a state prison in New Jersey, in Newark, and he was trying to get me into the Newark or to the penitentiary system in Newark. There was no openings, none. I happened to apply in PA because my heart is actually PA. I want to be able to grow my own food, raise my own animals, live off the land, off the grid. This is my goal. I'm out here. I'm out here. Pop my cigar, God damn it. The motherfucker sucker. Damn it. From Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York. You know you can't get a carry license in New York. I was an armed guard. I got a carry license. I was 18 carrying a pistol in New York. And not that I thought it was a big deal, but it was a privilege and an honor to be able to get a carry permit in New York. But if you move to Pennsylvania, you live in Pennsylvania, you can be out here for 3 days. Go get your driver's license changed over from whatever state to PA. Go to the courthouse, and you get a carry permit right away. Pennsylvania is an open carry state. You don't need a permit to carry a gun in Pennsylvania, but to conceal it, in order for you to walk around like this, you have to have a permit. In order for you to drive around in your car, you have to have a permit. So I got a permit. But I wasn't getting challenged at New Jersey University. I wasn't satisfied there. I would love to go into corrections because you can't work on those type of locks unless you're in the institution. You can't even order them. You can't even work on them. You have no idea what they look like until you get into an institution. So I applied for PA, and 3 agencies actually called me back. I happened to land in Somerset. There's 2 prisons out here. I'll leave it at that. But I'm a locksmith for corrections institution, and it's love out here. The cost of living is different. I took a $20,000 pay cut to come out here. However, didn't feel a bit. I don't pay a car note. I'm not giving. It's love. If you're looking to relocate, if you're looking to change your careers, whatever, let me know. Inbox me. Message me. 717-743-1047 is my cell. Text me or webmaster 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 at budbrownsville.com. Let's have a conversation. I'll let you know it's love. You can live out here. Department of Corrections is the highest paid agency in Pennsylvania. The highest paid agency in Pennsylvania. So, person asked, where am I? Ohio? No, I'm in PA, Somerset. And the power of the certificate of service is the key. Certificate of service. When you do, and I did a video on um, oh, administrative process. I'm waiting right now to actually get my commission. I'm commissioned in Jersey for notary commission. I'm waiting to get my commission for here in PA. A little more hurdles to jump through in PA. But when you do an administrative process, you send your documentation to the person or the institution or the entity you're going to send it to. You then send a follow-up. The third one that you send is like you slice in their throat. Like you had an opportunity to respond, you didn't respond. You do a certificate of service, meaning I sent this to you. And no, you can do a certificate of service with each process that you send. But to finalize your administrative process, you go to your notary and you work with your notary that I've sent this process out. And mind you, let me rephrase, let me slow down. The first documentation that you send, you can send yourself. I prefer working through a notary. Everything that I did in New Jersey, I've done through a notary, from the first to the third to the last. You have your notary involved with the process of sending out the response or the contact with the institution that you or the company or whoever you're sending it to. They need to respond to you and to the notary on the first response, on the first letter. Second letter goes out. I sent you this letter. Maybe it was, got caught up in the mail. Maybe you missed it. Maybe you didn't get it. Here's another one. Your response has to go to me and has to go to my notary. If you don't want to respond to me, you have to respond to my notary because he's making sure that you're responding. Third letter, because a lot of these companies don't respond to you. Who are you? I don't need to respond to you. Okay, great. The third letter goes out via your notary. Again, you need to respond to this letter. I done reached out to you twice trying to resolve this matter. I need you to respond to me and my notary. They don't respond. Now you have the notary that is involved in the process that has sent out these notices on your behalf. They didn't get anything in response. We've sent notices out to these agencies, to these entities. We've got no response. It's a certificate of non-response. It is a certificate of service. I served them. I sent it to them. They did not respond. That you take with their signature, you give them some time to respond. You take that in your signature and you get a default judgment on whoever you was doing your process against. Powerful, powerful shit. They do it to you. Why not do it to them? Powerful, powerful shit. Um, that's it. Need your teaching on, read that already. Negotiable to is the effect or need payout or can I turn my camera? You actually can. If I turn my camera and it does this, it's only going to concentrate. I wanted a panoramic, which is fine. Let's do this for the last, I guess, 15, 20 minutes of this video. There's only 4 people here. Let's do this so I can actually read it. But I wanted a panoramic. I hope I wasn't coming up upside down. I'm going to go back to the original or the first messages and scroll up. Matthew Alijo. What up? What up? Mr. Mensa. Peace. Cue me. Put KSL song. Don't know what that is. Mr. Andrell Carlo spoke about that. Mr. Mensa, thanks, bud. I'm challenging contract being unfair. HSBC manipulated LIBOR rate, indirect effective Bank of England rate, breach of fairness of contract. Britain, English, any other jurisdictions outside of the United States, I have no information on. I have no experience on. I can't elaborate on. I only could deal with the things that I've actually touched and had firsthand knowledge on. That's all I speak on. I don't speak on anything that I haven't done. Everything that I speak of on this channel is something that I've actually done myself, had success or had failure. But I've had pretty much nothing but success on a lot of stuff I did. I've had failures on discharging debt for a utility bill, um, uh, PSE&G, and for um, not the cable bill, a telephone bill. But that was because I didn't follow up. But I've subsequently had success when I did follow ups. Um, the founder of Pennsylvania, yep. GMC Denali, okay. I'm going to touch you in the morning and see if I can get a ride home. But let me know. We can talk privately. Absolutely. 717-743-1047. Can rent be paid by negotiation? No. Islam, is there any way you can touch on following tax exempt? Did that. Thumbs up. Request for time. Need to get it done. I'm driving home. Hopefully this will be ready. Replay. What about city? I'm not sure what we're talking about with city. Honors, honors, honors. Watch the new. Thumbs up. Back at you. I try emailing you. I'm going to find out who X14 is. Private side info. I did videos on private side info. I did videos. If you want some other videos elaborate on different things, let me know, particularly what you want me to touch on. Send over to BC. Excellent. We used your accepted for value. Peace. That's peace. Active wage garnishment. Spoke about that. Always need help, but I'm not giving up my intellectual property to a third party or second party to actually edit and return. I can't do that unless I'm blood related or maybe my neighbor that lives next door type thing where I can actually touch him if he doesn't do what he needs to do. Bill of exchange, salute, 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 discharge. Facts, yes, it does. Can you turn your camera negative? Two is the effect of the payout. Or not sure what that means. I'll go back later and go over. Need your teacher on news. It's process. Not my teacher. It's Yusufel or Jamu Bey. Dope. Appreciate you. Yusufel. Old John. Oh, UCC. Thank you. It's Ajamu Bey. AJUMU. Ajamu Bey. Bey. Yusuf L. Yusef Yusuf L. He has privatesidesolutions.com, I believe. He's also, if you look up Yusuf L on YouTube, um, Blog Talk, um, High Frequency Radio, Ojamo Bay, it's a little more difficult to contact or get in touch with. You got to go through either Yusuf L's page or maybe what's my other dude named Jonah Bay. Jonah Bay's page perhaps might have Ojamo Bay. Ojamo Bay, absolutely. Yes. Ojamo Bay, the Ghostable Instruments webinar. You can Google it. Probably try to go through YouTube. I'm not sure where else you could possibly find it. Um, I didn't pay much for the webinars, but I did. But to give the information away for free, I may not be apt to do. If you give me a donation, I can probably send you a link or send you a flash drive with the webinars. But powerful, 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 on point information. That's all I can say. I've been on for an hour and 24 minutes of saying it's midnight. Wow. So I'm going to give you guys another 5 minutes to make it an hour and 30. So please hit me. There's 4 people left. Let me know what else you want to know about. What did I touch on? I know you got questions. Probably can't think about it right now. Hopefully it comes up. Got 4 minutes and 80 or 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Let me know what you want to talk about. I used to have fun just going off the cuff and just spitting out stuff. But I'll get on a tangent and I'll go all over the place. There's so much stuff in this brain that I want to talk about. And the stuff that I'd rather talk about, you may not want to even know about. Um, Concealed carry, felons being able to carry, Second Amendment. Do not want to talk about this election. Do not want to talk about this election. Cigars. Don't want to do too much talking about discharging of debt and child support and all that stuff because a lot of people do not do the due diligence. They do it half-assed and it doesn't work. And then they come back and say, see, that shit didn't work. No, you didn't work. You didn't do the work that was required to get it done. And no, I can't do it for you. You got to do it yourself. Yes, I can do it for you, but you gonna pay me $1,000 to get your child support eradicated? You probably will, but no, I'd rather you do it so you know what you're doing. My daughters, I got a daughter that works for the Commonwealth, and she knows the jargon. She knows how to handle herself verbally with with the processes. So God forbid something happen to me, she don't understand on her square. 10 toes down. She can, if I do the process for you and now you get questioned or someone comes after you about this process, what are you gonna point to me? No, no, I don't know that person. I didn't do anything for them. You got to know what you need to know. You got to do what you need to do. You got to stand on your. I can't stand on your square. I can't stand on your square. Less than 3 minutes left. Appreciate you guys for sticking it out. We down to 3 people. Blessings to those that are here. And I'm going to do this again. Not one person put down a time frame, a date, whether it be a Monday through Friday or a weekend of when I should do these lives. So hopefully in the replay, I'll get some comments and some feedback. But I want to know what is a great time or the best time that you'll actually be available to engage in this dialogue. And I appreciate you as well. Less than 2 minutes. Any last questions? Any last comments? Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Tuesday night or Wednesday night? I was thinking about the same. Mondays is crazy busy. Tuesdays, Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, I'm watching Survivor. That's my show. But before 8 o'clock or after 9 o'clock, great. Or for Wednesday. Tuesday, I might come back on Tuesday. This is my anniversary weekend. So the weekend's gonna be a little tight, but if somebody would came on and said the weekends, I'd have did something on the weekend. But next Tuesday, let's say next Tuesday, 6, 7 o'clock, um, I'm going live. What I'll do is I'll put a presentation or I'll put a notice that I will be going live at 6 or 7 o'clock in advance, so you know it's actually going to happen. But oh, you all for both nights. That's what's up. We definitely gonna build, brother. We definitely gonna build. But less than 30, less than 40 seconds. I appreciate you. I thank you. And is that number and email correct? Mine, it's webmaster, WEBMASTER at budbrownsville.com. 717-743-1047. Text me or email me, and you'll definitely get a response. It may take a day or so, but you will get a response. And that's it for now. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. I'll be back on Tuesday, if not this weekend, another live. But thank you for joining me. Thank you for spending time. Thank you for the questions. And I hope I helped somebody this evening. Peace.